We live in a world where we want everything and we want it now, instantly. For authors, that includes the publishing of our books. We want the royalties raking in, the businesses we are building alongside our books to flourish. We want it all, and we want it all right now. Am I right? Our culture has created this need for instant gratification and instant success. But when it comes to social media, my friend, even today's topic of Instagram is anything but instant. The name of the book marketing game is consistency. And when it comes to social media success, that unfortunately is painfully true, especially on Instagram. Ready to talk about the platform of pictures? Let's do this. Hey, I'm Stephanie Feger, and Empower is my middle name. Well, not really, but y'all, I really think it should be. I believe that empowered people empower people, and I'm obsessed with empowering you, the nonfiction author, with impactful marketing strategies to help you take your important message and share it with those who desperately need it and want it and will buy it. I am the owner and chief strategist of the Empower PR Group and the author of 3 books myself, including my new book, Make Your Author Impact, Sell More Books, Increase Your Reach, and Achieve Your Why. I have been called to merge my love for reading books and writing books and marketing books to help nonfiction authors with laser-focused strategies and tactics to write books that sell, promote books to those who need and want them most, and build meaningful businesses from empowering messages. Think of this podcast as your one-stop shop for marketing insights from an author who has been there, done that, and understands exactly where you are. So get your pins ready because I am ready to empower you. This is the Empowered Author Podcast. When used appropriately, social media can be a major player in book marketing efforts for authors. However, time and time again, I see authors on the struggle bus with social media because they make it the thing. And if you could see me now, I'm doing air quotes on the thing, meaning they see it as the tool that will sell books. All right, no, my friend, you are that tool. Social media is just a platform to support you. And when you leverage it effectively, it can support you in your goal of book sales. So during this season of the Empowered Author Podcast, I've made a pact with myself to share what I've seen work and what I've seen to be a time suck with little return on investment. What I'm going to share today may not be what the social media marketers out there are going to share with you. But listen, you aren't in the social media game. You are in the business of message sharing via a book. And I want to ensure that you keep your eyes on that goal. Because social media has a way of luring you to the dark side to spend energy on what it wants you to, not what will be the most effective use of your time. Well, not anymore. We're not playing that game. You aren't going to let that happen. No more social dilemmas for you. Today, let's talk about what it takes and who is using Instagram. Now, I remember when Instagram came out. I was really perplexed, if I'm being honest with you, because you couldn't post anything on your computer, only via your mobile app. You could peruse and review things on the computer, but no posting whatsoever. I remember thinking, this is asinine. It's crazy. And my aging fingers were getting tired. So it makes sense that I'm actually not the ideal user for Instagram. However, I do enjoy being on it, but you may not also be the exact ideal user either. In fact, based on a Hootsuite blog, as of 2022, the majority of Instagram audience members are millennials or Gen Z users. I think that's interesting, and they actually note that Instagram is Gen Z's most favorite social media platform. This blog noted that internet users ages 16 to 24 are the ones who are really preferring Instagram over any other platform. Yeah, and they note specifically it even ranks above TikTok, which is quite interesting. So if this is a target market that you are looking to reach, well, Instagram might be a really beautiful solution for you. So as we talk about social media and the relevant platforms, I want to go back and highlight a few reminders. First of all, you are not your target audience usually. So where you like to engage on social might not be where your target readers want to. So you have to decide, Do you want to be where they are? And if so, how are you going to show up? Because there is nothing worse than showing up for a little bit and not being consistent with it. I also don't want you to try to be someone that you are not, because it will be evident. Your target readers will notice and you will fall flat. So here is your gentle reminder. You don't have to be everywhere. You just have to be at the right places. And you also don't have to do all the things. So what do I mean when I say that? Well, every platform is unique. They all have their own set of assets and benefits, and they reach different people. LinkedIn, for instance, has a more professional audience base, and Facebook is a really great place for authentic conversation. And when we talk about Instagram, it's the visual platform. Without a photo or a video, you just can't do a post. In fact, many people love this platform because the comments are really secondary to the visuals. So, what does this mean for you as an author, and how do you leverage Instagram? Instagram, to me as a book marketer, is really a beautiful brand platform. It's where people can go to get a sense of your energy, your vibe, your message. When photos and video are really the star player, it tells a lot about you without you being able to say anything. Outside of those short video clips, your personality comes out really quickly. So are you kind of chaotic with posts all over the place, or are you methodical with a beautiful grid, which we'll get to in a minute? Are you strong and bold with your graphics, or soft around the edges with jewel tones? All of this matters. And actually, if you need a refresh on author brands, go back and listen to season 2 of this podcast, which is all about that, because it would be a beautiful complement to your Instagram profile and a beautiful place to express it. However, there are some limited opportunities to do so when it comes to your infrastructure, your posts, and everywhere in between. So the name of the Instagram game is really threefold. You want to make sure you leverage the limited infrastructure you have. You also want to make sure you are posting in accordance with your brand, and you want to ensure you are connecting and engaging with the right people. And hashtags offer a roadmap to do so. Let's start talking about infrastructure. So there is a very limited amount of opportunities here. So let's make the most of it. First off, let's start with your actual Instagram account. You may not know this, but there are 3 different profile types that you can have on your Instagram account: personal, business, and creator. Now, every Instagram account starts as a personal account, and you can convert to a business or a creator account at any time. There's really no limits as to timeframes or what is required to make it happen. Now, all the basic features really remain the same when it comes to each of these different accounts, but they also offer different tools and features. So I want to just take a minute to highlight some of my favorites and which one I think you probably need. So let's talk about personal. So this is probably what the Instagram account you had or still have when you signed up for Instagram. This is for personal use. It's pretty self-explanatory. It is the most basic level. So if you are wanting to use Instagram to connect with your friends or your family, or really however else you'd like, it's a good account type for you, because you can set it to be private or public, and it has all of the features you need to post. However, you do not get any insights or analytics. You can't share contact details, and you have some limited features, all of which could make it a bit challenging to sell books. So my recommendation is, if you have a personal account, it's probably time to upgrade it. Now, the creator account is a new account type for Instagram, and it's really meant for public figures, influences, or notable individuals or content creators, as the name implies. So you might think, I'm a content creator, that's probably what I should be. It's a step up from a personal account, but it's not all the way a business account. Now, I see a creator account as a good solution, possibly because it offers some analytics that are really specific to your content, and it gives you some flexibility when it comes to how you display your profile. However, you can't set it to private, just like you can't set business to private either. The creator account is good for a creator who is wanting to grow their account or really increase their visibility. I, however, think every author is actually creating a business the moment they have published a book. So I believe a business account is what you need because it has all of the features of everything else, as well as brand management, conversion, marketing, and everything in between. You will look professional and credible. And this is really the tool that helps you ensure that you are building your brand into a meaningful authorpreneur business. You will get business insights and analytics. And if you ever wanted to run Instagram ads, you can with a business account. I'm not saying you should, but you can. You also get to choose a category for your business. And I love that you get to do that as well. The only caveat I want to highlight on this account is you do have to have a Facebook page and it has to be connected to it. So if you don't have a Facebook page, which is separate from your Facebook profile, you're going to want to get that set up so that you can have a business Instagram account. Now, there is no cost required for any of these different account types. It's just different analytics and different features that you might get. The other thing I want to highlight when we're talking about infrastructure is your limited bio space. So you pretty much get a handle, which is how people find you, about 150 characters to share a little bit about you, and a photo. So I want you to take full advantage of all of those. When we talk about your handle, make sure that it makes sense. I see several authors who use their name or name and numbers or a random phrase that they use. Maybe that makes sense if that's incorporated into your author brand, but if not, make sure that you really have your handle align with who you are. And that could mean it's your name or your book title or phrase within your book, or maybe something you say regularly. Now, the photo, you get one, only one. Do you want it to be a photo of you or your book or your business logo? I think any of those makes sense as long as it makes sense to your overarching brand. Finally, you get 150 characters to share a little bit about you. And let me tell you, that is only a little bit. So how do you do that? Well, I'm a believer in simplicity and focus. I love using some hashtags and emojis and realize you just need to share enough to get people interested. A little punchy line is always fun. So be methodical. You also get the opportunity to incorporate a link. Now, for some of you guys, a link to your website is all you need. For others, a link tree is a great solution to allow you to share more. Link trees are free. They have paid accounts, but you can leverage the free account, and it allows you to upload multiple links to one link so they can click that and look at all of the things. That is a little roundabout way to take full advantage of your bio. Now, your brand comes to life when you start posting on Instagram. Individually, each Instagram post may be seen as a single option out there, but collectively they tell a story, and y'all were in the business of storytelling. This is what I call, and others call, the grid. And a beautiful grid tells a story just like your book does. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say grid, I want you to log into Instagram on your mobile app or on your computer and go to somebody's Instagram page. As you scroll down, you're going to see 3 columns and multiple rows depending upon how many posts they've done. This is your grid, and a grid pattern that tells a beautiful story and is branded appropriately tells something about the author and the book and the brand. I love making beautiful grids that have patterns and purpose. And I usually do it in connection with what we call content pillars to ensure that every post matters. Now, your posts, you can get over 2,200 characters or something like that when you're doing a post, but most people are really drawn to your photos, especially since posts on Instagram that have links within them, the links will not work. That is probably the most frustrating part to me of Instagram, because you can share a beautiful message, but then you need to compel somebody to go back to your profile to click on the only link that's in your profile, which could be to your website or a link tree. And that is extra steps. And in today's Insta gratification culture, many people will not do it. So you want to make sure your posts and your photos and video are compelling enough to push them forward to action. Now, you can do photos or videos on Instagram. You can do posts or reels. You can do highlights and stories and everything in between. I focus solely on posts personally because I'm a believer in focusing on the things that are the best that I can do without totally sucking all of my time away. But you may enjoy learning more about reels and highlights and all that fun stuff. If so, it's out there. Information is out there for you to take full advantage of. My only caveat and word of caution is to ensure that you don't get sucked down the social media dilemma any more than you already are. Focus on the things that matter, and posting consistently, in my opinion, is what matters most. So, what are some strong social media posts for authors to use on Instagram? Well, remember, visuals come first. So, offer sneak peeks behind the scenes of you as an author and your business. Share information about really cool things that you're doing and use the right hashtags accordingly, which we'll talk about momentarily. Do book giveaways. Talk about client testimonials. Give an insight about your characters or individuals you've highlighted in your book. Connect with other authors and complementary service providers and readers of specific genres and highlight them too. And ensure you have a beautiful theme connected to your content pillars. So, when I talk about content pillars, what I'm talking about is making sure that your posts have purpose. What is it that you need social media posts to be doing for you? Now, to be seen on Instagram requires you to connect with other people. And let me tell you, it is no walk in the park to make that happen on Instagram. Not at all. However, here are some tips to connect effectively and engage accordingly. You see, connecting and engaging with the right people is what is going to create conversion. And I believe that hashtags offer a roadmap for you to do so. All right, before we go any deeper, you're going, hashtags, what are they? Well, let's level set for a minute. So a hashtag is a combination of letters, numbers, maybe even emojis. And before all of that little phrase is the pound sign, this hashtag symbol. These hashtags are actually used to help categorize, and it makes you, your message, and your content more discoverable because it's actually a way people search within Instagram and other platforms. Because hashtags are actually clickable. So as someone clicks a hashtag, they're actually going to go to a page that shows all the posts that are tagged with that particular hashtag. And they can choose if they want to follow that hashtag, which means that they could see your hashtag posts in their news feed, in their feed, even if they don't follow you yet. So hashtags are really important because they're searchable, they're clickable, and they help you get visibility whether or not someone is connected to you or not. It's a great way to also build community online and really encourage people to be engaging with you. So you know what a hashtag is. So how do you use it? Well, on Instagram, hashtags really matter because it allows you to ensure that you are finding the right people who care about what you bring to the table. People in your genre will be looking at hashtags. Influencers, book bloggers, book reviewers, they use hashtags. Social media hashtag holidays exist, which might make you searchable too. So I want you to think about, as you write a post, what is something that people might be searching to help find that post? What are some keywords or phrases? That's where hashtags come in. So how many hashtags should you use? Well, there's no right or wrong here. You can use as many as you want, but I've done a little bit of research and they say around 10 or so is a sweet spot. In my opinion, too many hashtags can be overkill, but too few means you're not taking full advantage of what hashtags are all about. Some people don't like seeing hashtags in posts, so just know you could always comment on your own posts with the hashtags that you want to use. Also, do not forget to create a hashtag for you or your book's name. You should create that custom branded hashtag so that your fabulous community can follow everything you're saying, and you should use that hashtag in every post. So there's a lot that we covered with Instagram, but there's more that we didn't. So why didn't we talk about reels or stories more than what I vaguely touched on, you may be asking? Well, let me tell you this. Sure, people may be more likely to engage with a video nowadays, but it will take you more time to create it too, pulling you away from some of your book favorite things to do, like writing and stuff like that, right? So my goal for you when we're talking about social media is for social media to work for you, not the other way around. And I have found that Instagram is a great complement to my own social posts as I post on LinkedIn and Facebook. So I don't get hung up on some of the other things because social media to me is not the strategy. It is the tool to bring the strategy to life. I love Instagram for the brand elements, truly. In fact, that's my favorite part of this platform. I get frustrated with the fact that my links won't work in posts and everybody is talking about Reels when I know it's time intensive and not something I'm willing to put energy in right now. But when I remain grounded on leveraging Instagram's best asset, the branding piece, everything else feels unnecessary. If you optimize your profile, have relevant and engaging posts with the right hashtags, and connect with the right people, you will be ahead of the game. So I say start there. This season of the Empowered Author Podcast is meant to help you uncover where you should be and how you should be engaging. I'll be honest, Instagram is a part of my platform efforts, but it's not the one I use to build my efforts around. LinkedIn is, because people go to LinkedIn for conversions. Instagram, however, is a beautiful brand building tool, and I love what it has to offer there, especially when I follow my own advice when it comes to infrastructure, posts, and hashtags. Now, during this season of the podcast, we have a handy tool to help you out. You visit empowerprgroup.com/social media. You can download the author's guide to the social dilemma, where you can follow along, take notes, and uncover how you're going to tackle this whole social dilemma drama. Also, I want you to know that we are here to help. In fact, social media is a specialty of ours. We love offering social media presence audits, as well as helping authors update their infrastructure, create content pillars in a social plan, and even develop graphics and content accordingly. If you could use that help, reach out. Visit empowerprgroup.com/social media to learn more. Author friend, thank you for listening today and for saying yes to becoming empowered and making your author impact. As you know, I believe that empowered people empower people, and I have empowered you. So that means it's your turn to go empower others.